Hello everyone! In my last series of the best body parts when it comes to bodybuilding, it seemed like in every other bodybuilder I was mentioning, I was saying rest in peace or he was sick, like this guy right here, Mustafa Mohammed. You can see him next to Nasser El Sambari, who was amazingly well built and then he died. Mike Francois, look at him now, he is sick, not the same man to say the least. Mr. Ed von Amsterdam, he passed away this year, may he rest in peace. Or again, Andreas Monzer, they did an autopsy on him, they found literally tumors the size of balls in his liver. Or another dude who died from cancer, Mr. Sonny Schmidt. We also have Mike Matarazzo. He had several heart surgeries and he's no longer the same man. Right? And as a matter of fact, the list goes on. I cannot cite them all, guys. There are too many of them. But this month with muscular development, they're addressing the subject because it is so alarming. They cannot escape it anymore. Every year, several guys are dying, right? And it is definitely related to the sport. There is absolutely no doubt about it. I respect these guys, the veterans, to address the subject finally, openly, and they speak about steroids use in that discipline. Like here you can see Sean Ray. He literally says, I do not want it to become a commonplace that we simply throw out a token REP, meaning rest in peace, to the next star our sport produces when the Grim Reaper takes another hapeless bodybuilder there. So they're dying pretty much. And he goes on and says that literally the doses that these guys are taking in local shows are mind-boggling compared to the doses that these guys were taking in the 90s. It is just amazing. And he says it quite clear. Amateurs and professionals should bone up on their psychology and learn more about their endocrine systems and organ functions, as well as the care and maintenance of their internal workings. Because these guys are taking biblical amount, I mean stupendously godly amount of substances without caring about the consequences. And there is no free ride, guys. There is the reality. Another dude spoke about the same thing. It is actually Mr. Flex Wheeler, who is himself a kidney transplant survivor. This dude literally destroyed his kidneys, and he goes on and speaks about the problem he had after a German Grand Prix when he literally collapsed. Let me read you what he said. Pretty much after the Grand Prix, he went to the emergency there. He was about literally to die. And he informed the doctor about his consumption of diuretics. He literally mentions the name of these diuretics. Let me tell you the name of it real quick. There we go. So he was taking Diazid and Aldacton, neither of which is particularly strong. My problem was that even once I got to the point when I was as hard and dry as possible, I would still keep taking them because I was worried I would rebound and hold on water. Now I realized that I was not going to happen, because my customary practice was to stop drinking anything at 24 hours out from prejudging. So not only he was consuming an ungodly amount of diuretics, but he was not drinking. So it destroyed literally his kidneys. Long story short, he went to the doctor. He told him about it. The doctor was shocked. But even more, he was shocked about his consumption of insulin use. At that point, I had been using it year-round, both off-season and pre-contest, for 2 years in a row. The doctor told me point blank, listen bro, if you screw that up, you could die even if I had my whole team here in the ER doing our very best to save you. There is nothing we can do. Then Flex woke up and he said, I never used it again, but it was too late. A few months later, he had a kidney failure, and as you guys know, he did a transplant, right? So that was a risky business for him, right? And he had to live with that for the rest of his life. And finally, Mr. Kevin Levroni, who's going to compete, if I'm not mistaken, next year, he went on and spoke about his cycle consumption. He said, first of all, for me, the mental risk of my strive to be the best were far worse than the physical ones, meaning psychologically he was facing more dangers than dangers related to his consumption of steroids. And he goes on and displays his consumption of steroids. He says, there we go, take it as the truth that I'm being honest enough to share or not. I do not care because I know what I used. Like the old school guys, I did not use stuff in the off season. At 6 to 8 weeks out from a contest, this is what I would use. 2 Anadrol 50 tabs per day, right? So 2 Anadrol, I guess 50 milligrams tabs per day. 600 milligrams of testosterone every week. 400 milligrams of Deca-Durabolon every week as well. 50 milligrams of Winstrol V every other day, meaning every 2 days. 50 milligrams of Nolvadex per day, which is an AI, right? Aromatase inhibitor. Indeed, it seems and it looks like a very, very conservative, very light cycle, for God's sake. There are some women who take more than this. Do I believe him? Yes. Why would he lie? And as a matter of fact, he goes on and says that he only used growth hormone and insulin 2 times, if I'm not mistaken, and he did not like it. The time when he used GH, growth hormone, he did not place well because he was bloated and he was soft, so he stopped it. So I do believe him. The dude was known, even in my days, in the 90s, he was known as a dude who does not consume off-season. It was the rule back in the day, guys. In Arnold days, these guys were not taking stuff all year long, right? They were taking pretty much just around contests. So I do believe Kevin when he says so. Anyway, long story short, guys, there is no free ride. I have no choice. Each time I do a video about bodybuilders, I have to mention that these guys are either dead or sick or had a kidney failure, a heart attack, a liver failure, and so on, right? Because it is just to aware you guys, this is no fancy land, you know, there is no free ride. Each time you put a chemical substance in your body, there is always consequences, right? So I'm not judging nobody, but I finally have to leave you with that advice that Sean Ray gave you and gave everybody. It is your prerogative to take anything that you deem good for you or bad for you. It is your own choice, but at least know the consequences. There is no free ride. In 2013, all the information is available on the internet. Personally, as you guys know, I choose to be natural, but for the rest, it is your own prerogative to take care of your organs, know the risk, and assume the consequences. That's what's up. Don't forget to like the video, guys, if you agree. Subscribe, salute me, and in the comment section, tell me what you think about it. And for the record, I'll leave the link of Dead Bodybuilders in the description.